It's the job of professors and scholars to reveal pre-existing facts of the universe and pass on not only those facts, but the methods by which one finds facts on to the next generation. It's the job of priests and gurus to let that next generation know what the difference is between the facts that their scholars give them and the ones they auto-generate on ChatGPT. Hello! I am so glad that you could be here today. Welcome to Beer and Philosophy, where today an atheist is going to tell you about the importance of art and religion. Hello, sorry, I'm inserting this part the next day. My name is Editing Rich. You may have seen my notes in previous videos. Filming Rich forgot to mention the fact that this video was inspired by an interview with Dan Dennett and Richard Rorty that has been posted over on Philosophy Overdose, where I watched it. It's incredible. If you're interested in the subject of truth and science worship, I highly, highly recommend it. It's incredible stuff. So if you want to hear about this subject from people who are far, far smarter than I am, the link will be in the pinned comment below. Back to the video. Don't forget to leave a comment or a like if, and only if, you like the video and you want to see it promoted in the algorithm. It does help quite a bit. We've got quite the mind bender today, but I am hoping this will help all of us, including me as well, forge a deeper relationship with science and understand what it really is and is not. And I also want to say this video is not going to be a comprehensive guide to how you should personally feel about science, religion, or art. That is a conversation that you can only have with yourself. But I do hope this video can help you to facilitate that conversation. And I also want to make it absolutely clear that this video is not anti-science. This video is anti a prevalent false perception of science that is running rampant through society right now. But what do I mean when I say science? And forgive me, I am going to speculate just for a moment in the interest of getting your mental gears turning. Is science, by definition, the collection of expert-led doctrines and schools that makes up the collegiate system? Is that science? Is science the fruits of that system? Is science the methods by which those fruits are attained? On a smaller scale. Let's say you have a group of scientists just in a laboratory. Is whatever they do in that laboratory science simply by virtue of them being scientists? Or do they perform science and they therefore become scientists because of that? Or is science neither of those things? Is science what is produced at the end of whatever process? Or does science require a specific process or specific method? And is whatever they produce science, even if they end up getting their hypothesis wrong? That's all just mental chewing gum. But I hope it illustrates how much wiggle room there is there. And if I had to illustrate how the common man sees science here in America, I would imagine one of those old fortune-telling robots use the coin slot to insert funding and receive a nugget of truth that you can scroll past on your Apple feed, half remember, and regurgitate mindlessly as you use it as either a flimsy excuse to do or believe what you would already have done or believed, or as a brick wall you can slap down in between you and the people that you don't want to listen to because, you know, they should really do their research. And this exists in every group to some extent. Every socioeconomic class, every race, every ethnicity, every religion, every side of the political aisle. Everyone engages in some form of science worship. It's just a real thing here in the 21st century Western world. You are not immune. I am not immune. And the reason science is vulnerable to being perceived that way is complex, multifaceted, and not necessarily the fault of scientific institutions. A lot of it is also that religious institutions have had faith in them absolutely shattered due to scandal, and they haven't really done much to actually rebuild trust with the public, or at least not enough. But even if you don't trust churches, and I think that is a valid choice, doesn't mean that science can fill the hole that religion leaves behind, like culturally. The scientific method, like fundamentally, is about finding pre-existing facts about the universe. But all it can do with those facts is just plop them in your lap like a wet blanket. That is what science actually is, not what it is perceived to be. Science is the pursuit of fact with all room for speculation sucked out of it. Science does not provide context. Science does not provide meaning. Science does not tell you how to live a good life or even what a good life actually is. And that's okay. That's not what science is there to do. That's what art and religion is for. And I would further say that living a life where only like two categories exist, what is true and what is not true, and explicitly refusing to play with all this area around them, with all this blank space which is undefined, all of this space in which is contained that which you do not know to be true or untrue, that space in which we find speculation and spirituality and the most base human desires that have absolutely no logical threshold whatsoever. To leave all of that space to decay is to not engage with the human experience, in my opinion. And that's coming from an atheist. I'd like to cap this off with a personal story to hopefully help illustrate my point. Remember a few years ago when anthropologists painted those completely butt-ugly statues and then tried to convince everyone that that's what they actually would have looked like? And I will give them this, they certainly looked like they were painted by scientists. Oh, he's gonna be mad. A buddy of mine has a degree, a master's degree in anthropology, and he and I had a discussion about this. I don't think the statues would have looked like that. They're pretty ugly. That's exactly how they looked. Scientists know what they're doing. They found chips of yellow paint in certain areas, so they know that those areas are yellow. Yeah, but they could have added some details, right? I mean, this statue has the body of a lion, it has wings, it has the head of a human. I mean, would an artist perhaps have seen that as an opportunity to have multiple different textures between feathers, fur, and human skin? Maybe that's why chimeric animals were prevalent and are still prevalent to this day, just based on that human value, that it's just a fun art project people like making. No. Why not? Because scientists already went over the statue. They found chips of yellow paint in certain areas on the statue, so they know that those areas are yellow. But couldn't they have added some shadows? I mean, you can do a lot with charcoal. Black is like the most prevalent pigment in human existence, and it's weird that all of these scientists and museums are allergic to using it. No. Why not? Because scientists already went over the statue. They found chips of yellow paint in certain areas on the statue, so they know those areas are yellow. And that is what science is. That is what science can do. All it is capable of doing. Plop facts in your lap, calculate that this pigment was applied to this section of rock, with all conjecture, with all artistry, with all base, unexplainable, human thought processes just sucked out of it. And that is the failure of science. Boy, that got heated. Feels good though. I just want to take a moment to reiterate the fact that I'm not anti-science. I am anti-science overstepping its bounds, and I'm anti the bias against religion and the arts that we seem to be perpetuating and not moving away from quickly enough. Just let science be science. It's okay. It doesn't have to provide you with all the answers. I'll probably make another video about this, I'm sure. You know, just my own issues. Call it like a novelist take on science. That'll go over well. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like or a comment if you want to see it promoted in the algorithm. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.